What it is, what it doing, how the hell are all of you with yours truly, Petrov fucker, back with another motherfucker. You already know the deal. We keep it 100% real. All day, every day. It's been a long time since I done dropped some shit, and that's not for any in particular reason. I haven't been stupid busy or, all this shit, but, the COVID happened and made it so everything was on lockdown and shit. I have a kid, I had to be parenting shit, and I gotta make sure my kid's education is on point. I said education, motherfuckers, y'all can suck a dick. I gotta make sure he's doing his thing, I gotta keep him busy and shit like that. A lot of people work from the house, so not the easiest thing to be sitting in a corner talking all my shit. You know what I'm saying? So I found a new place to talk my shit, and now I'm gonna talk my shit. I'm sure everybody already heard about George Floyd getting killed by the Minneapolis Police Department, Derek Chauvin, and his fucking guard dogs. You will hear me refer to them motherfuckers as pigs. Fuck 12. Fuck the police. Fuck the government. Fuck the system. All kinds of shit. But you will mainly hear me refer to the people that stood, those three fucking cops that stood guard as that motherfucker sat on his neck. You will hear me refer to them motherfuckers as pigs. Now, this shit really popped off, man. They killed a man that didn't do shit wrong, man. They sat on his neck. That is not police protocol. Everybody in their fucking mama knows that is not police protocol. When they arrest you, they are not supposed to fucking hurt you or harm you, and yet they still did, right? Some fuck shit. It's something, like I said, I'm gonna talk my shit. That's some fuck shit. Those four cops, man, I honestly and firmly believe they deserve the death penalty. I believe they deserve to have someone sit on their fucking neck for 8 minutes and them not be able to fucking breathe. I also believe that they should have duct tape over their goddamn mouth so no one gets to hear their fucking whimpers. Because they didn't listen to George when he was talking about he couldn't breathe, his stomach hurt, his neck hurt, y'all didn't listen. So maybe instead of listening to your bitch ass screams, we just tape your mouth shut. They burnt down the 3rd Precinct. They burnt down AutoZone. They burnt down a Wendy's. They burnt down a fucking pawn shop. They broke in and looted the tobacco store, Target, Cub, the liquor store. They done looted over on Midway and protested and rioted over on Midway. They done in Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center. They also were trying to hit Northtown, which is up in Fridley, Blaine, Spring Lake Park area. They was going to hit that bitch. And a lot of people think, they're wrong for that. They shouldn't be doing that. Protesting and rioting are different. They should be doing it peacefully. Yeah, I mocked the shit out of them for one specific reason. They did protest peacefully. We have protested peacefully. And nothing fucking changes. Nothing changes. You still got cops killing cops. Not cops killing cops. Cops should be killing cops, but it's not cops killing cops. It's cops killing civilians. It's cops hurting and maiming and brutalizing civilians. It's cops leaving civilians with PTSD. And cops leaving civilians with a hatred so thick and so dark for the police force, that shit trickles down to every child that person may or may not ever have. When someone hates the police with that amount of hate, you will never change their idea. You will never change their feeling. Because what that cop did was some foul fuck shit. And guess what? It took him 4 days to arrest him and to charge him. But if it was me, you, or Blow Joe on the street, bro, they'd have had us wrapped up, hemmed up, and in a fucking cell in a few hours. Facts. That's facts. That's facts. And the fact that the report is saying that Joe Blow, whoever wrote the fucking report in the ME's office, the doctor's office, whatever, whoever wrote that shit is trying to say that George did not die of asphyxiation. That's a big word, but they're basically saying he didn't die from fucking being choked. Well, the hands weren't around his fucking neck. You're right. The cop sat on his back while 2 other people sat on his fucking lower back and his legs so he couldn't move. And he fucking couldn't breathe, so he died. He asphyxiated to death. And they're saying it wasn't asphyxiation that killed him, it was underlying issues. Yeah, underlying issue was a fat motherfucker sitting on his goddamn neck. I'm sorry, but you're not going to tell me that asthma or diabetes or a heart condition or a fucking lung condition killed the man. He was fine when he woke up. So the underlying condition wasn't fucking with him that morning for whatever reason. But the minute a cop sat on his neck, oh, it fucked with him heavy, huh? Yeah. It's some fuck shit, like I said, man. And like I said, I've told 15 people on Facebook, man, on Twitter, I'm trying to see this shit from every perspective. Every angle. Even the fucking police's angle. Because I don't even like them motherfuckers. I got my own beef with the police. But I do try to tone back fuck 12 and shit in front of little kids, because I'm not going to force my opinion or my thoughts and beliefs on kids. That's not me. That's not who I am. I'm not saying other people can't do that, because if that's what you want to do, you go for it. But that's not me. I did go to the protest last night, and I did watch them break that gate at the 3rd Precinct, and I watched them break the few windows out, and then I seen 5 or 6 police just come up on the roof to fire off tear gas, because them police was shook. They was scared. I've been telling people I ain't never seen a cop run from nothing in my whole life, but I done watched cops run last night. I watched them hide. I watched them scurry. I bet 1 or 2 of them pissed their pants. But I ain't never seen it in my whole life, but I'm happy I went and seen that shit. Like I said, I don't agree with all the looting. I don't know what stealing a PS4 and a TV is going to do to say fuck the system. But I know why they looted Target. Target fucking rented property to the police department. 3rd Precinct has been dirty my whole life, my mama's whole life, my daddy's whole life, his daddy's whole life. They always been dirty, man. Dirty cops hire dirty cops. You can't tell me that if me and a person on the street can tell when someone is shady, shiesty, or fucked up, a cop can tell us that shit, man. You got to do interviews with these motherfuckers. I got to pass psychology tests and all that shit. Mind you, there's air quotes when it comes to psychology tests and any kind of fucking mental tests when it comes to police, man. Because you know the motherfuckers be cheating, fudging, whatever they can to get past that shit, man. Because I really, at the end of the day, I don't think police care about the many. And this is about Minnesota. I've never really dealt with any other government in the world, in the United States. I've always lived in Minnesota, so I'm speaking specifically about the Minnesota, Minneapolis, and Anoka County government. I think they're all fucked. I think they're all dirty. I think the judges are dirty. I think the lawyers are dirty. I think the cops are dirty. And yeah, we can vote them in and out of office, but it still doesn't make or break the fact that they're dirty. Like, good example. Steven Crowder once said, and I know people are going to get mad at me because I'm citing Steven Crowder talking about this shit, but Steven Crowder once said he was told by somebody that, like, when the president goes into office, maybe they're told so many things that it has to automatically change their opinion on something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that that's right, but like they were talking about when it comes to terrorism, and how when you're running for office, you'll say one thing, but then when you get in office, something completely different happens. That's because you actually, now you have all the paperwork and all the shit in front of you, and you got all the people that have been dealing with it telling you what they've been dealing with. And in that aspect, you can relate that shit to the street. All the people, all that anecdotal evidence, all the war stories people have had with the police nonstop, those stories make a difference to those people. And when you get all those people bound up in a group, and they can basically cause anarchy like it was. To me, it was peaceful, though. I'm not going to say it wasn't. Why would I say it's peaceful? Because nobody was hurting each other, man. There was no fights happening on the streets. It wasn't black versus white or Asian versus Mexican or Asian versus black. It was everybody was united against the police, man, against the government. And Governor Walz, man, I've already told you, this ain't a political thing. I don't like Governor Walz. It has nothing to do with him being a Democrat. It's because I think he's a piece of shit. I do not think he gives a fuck about the people. I don't think he's ever given a fuck about the people. I think he ran on a lying campaign. And I also, if you listen to his press conferences, especially today, he made a comment. They want to restore order. Okay. Now, maybe nobody else is looking into that comment. Me, man, I took that shit weird, bro. Because what do you mean you're going to restore order? We, the people, don't like the way the order was working. So what the fuck do you mean you're going to restore it? You're not going to change shit. And I'm sorry, you can arrest Derek Chauvin and the other 4 cops. It ain't going to change shit unless you change the system. Those 4 cops, yes, they are a fucking problem. But what about the other 4 cops that aren't being crucified right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, come think about that shit, man. It's not just, those aren't the only 4 dirty cops. There's more dirty cops than there are good cops. And I hear a lot of people say, but not all cops are bad. Well, not all cops are good either. And if all the good cops actually did their job and turned in the bad cops, maybe we wouldn't have as many bad cops. But when the good cops don't turn in the bad cops, that makes them a bad cop. And at the end of the day, the police are employed via tax-paying dollars. And the taxpayers are their fucking bosses. I might not be your captain or your lieutenant. You may not talk to me when you get to work, but best believe this bitch, I pay your fucking taxes. I mean, I pay you my taxes, pay your bills. That's why you got lights on. This is true. And yeah, some of the reason I'm messing up on what I say, because this shit ain't scripted like Governor Walz does or Mayor Fry. Or another fucking police chief or another commissioner that got that little piece of paper with their name next to it on what they're supposed to say. This shit really makes me mad, man. The fact that it makes me mad is because I see so many people try to make this into a race thing and try to make this into a political thing. This is not a race thing. This is, the cops hate all of us. The cops shoot the fuck out of all of us. Now, the statistics, you can look at them. I'm not going to cite them here because it doesn't matter. The fact is, this is the cops versus the people. And the people got tired. People got tired of getting sat on, killed, punched, all this shit. And I got stories where the police done threw me on top of the goddamn cop car for next to no reason. Yeah, I was being lippy. Did that mean I deserve to get punched in the stomach because I was being lippy? I was in handcuffs. How was that fair? The fuck? And then when you tell a cop, take off that badge, now it's a domestic threat. Or now it's a terroristic threat. Get the fuck out of here, man. The fact that the cops are not being held to the same standard that we, the people, are held to, if me and you and Joe Blow and Harry wouldn't kill somebody, we would all go to jail the same day. Unless we didn't give each other up the same day. Well, all 4 of these cops are all public paid employees. The service has the police office, whatever station has their fucking names. They have their badge numbers. You have the cars, so you can easily go pick them up and arrest them and charge them with murder, because you would if it was any other 4 people. It wouldn't stop you. And that's the problem. I see so many people taking fucking the protest and mixing it in with the riots, and they're not there. Rioting makes it look bad. You know what rioting is? When protesting doesn't work, man. I've told like 5 people this shit, and I'm going to stand by that. Rioting is when protesting doesn't work anymore. When your peaceful talking doesn't work anymore. When the sit-downs aren't working. How many times are you going to have community leaders sit down with the police force and nothing changes? But the police force and the commissioner and the chief and the deputies are all going to say, oh, it's going to change. And the minute they leave that fucking door, it ain't going to change. Mediation ain't never helped shit. In my opinion. And I'm going to say in my opinion a few times because this is all in my opinion. But you come to Hotbox Talk for my opinion. And I'm sure people wanted my opinion on this. Maybe not many, but I do have 500 downloads. I'm assuming somebody wanted my motherfucking opinion. I think a lot of people yesterday were out doing the right thing and doing the wrong thing. But how can you tell someone if they're doing the wrong thing if they're thinking they're doing the right thing? A protest is a protest, in my eyes. Whether it's laying on the highway and disrupting traffic, or throwing Molotov cocktails at a police precinct, or looting Target. A protest is a protest. Yes, there are stages of that shit that probably should never be met. Pure anarchy should never happen. The police should never stand by with firefighters and watch a building burn as countless civilians just stand there watching. Those officers, those firefighters took oaths to serve and protect their communities. What the fuck did they serve and protect? They watched it burn. Just like the rest of us watched it burn. And I got tear gas. That shit ain't fun. But guess what? It was worth it. It was worth it to be with all those people knowing the same thing, yelling, fuck 12. No justice, no peace. Hands up, don't shoot. And the saddest fucking thing was, man,